Okay, we're right here and we're gonna show you how this pool filter works right here. We're gonna balance the water. This is kind of like a soft water sift system. It has a backwash system, a rinse, and pretty similar. It cleans the water. Okay, now we're about to do a backwash. The vacuum bucket from Hayward, which he picked up from the vacuum cleaner, you dump this out and then you put it back in before you do a backwash. Now we'll put this bucket back in now that we cleaned it. And we're gonna get some extra water because we lost the water. Again, you don't want to ever run this without the water. Yeah, then you put the seal in. You hook it in with the latch.
Okay.
Now that we have it in filter, come over here. We're gonna switch it over to backwash, which is all the way over here. And you usually do this once a week. The dirty water comes in, it gets through the filter, but then it gets dirty from the vacuum and sitting in there for a week. The tank fills up, all the sediments go to the bottom, and the dirty water sits in here like a water treatment plant. So then you switch it to backwash, and it goes through the sand filter, and it takes out all the dirty water. You run this for approximately 2 to 3 minutes because it also drains the water. And you make sure this is always turned off when you're switching the valve. You can see the water is going to come out the line right here, the backwash hose in a second. And whoa! Okay, we're going to try that again. We'll switch the filter to on. And you can see right there, there's the water glass right there. You can see it starts off cloudy and you run until it gets clear. The storm glass, look how dirty the water is. It's really cloudy and you can see a little algae in there. And there's the sand particles that we're backwashing the pool. All the dirty water that's in the pool is backwashing. The filter glass is still dirty. The water's starting to clear up a little bit. It's still a little cloudy. Give it another 30 seconds, 20 seconds. Okay, now that the glass is cleaned up, we're gonna stop and we're gonna switch it to rinse. You always turn it off first because it could damage the control center, the knobs right here. And rinse is all the way over here. Switch to rinse, make sure it's in the knob right position, and you turn it back on. Water starts pumping again. Now it's rinsing the water, cleans out the water. You only do this for about 20-30 seconds to get any dirt that's remaining in the system out. Wow, you can see it's really clean now, so now we'll turn it off. Okay, we're back, and now we turned the filter off, and we're going to switch it to waste because we had a heavy flood the other day, and sometimes if you get a hurricane, you like to do it because if the water goes over the skimmer basket, the leaves won't go in the skimmer and won't be as efficient. Come over here. You can see right now it's on rinse. We're going to switch it to waste right over here. And the water... Okay, now that we have the water on, this is going to go, it's going to take the water from the pool, any excess water. This is just pumping the water. It doesn't backwash it or clean it, or it doesn't go through the sand filter. It bypasses that stage. It just takes water from the pool and takes it out down the drain. You can see we're backwashing the pool. We got so much water in the pool. Check this out, 10 minutes later and we're still backwashing the pool and it doesn't even look like we made a difference in the pool. Look, it's still not even in the skimmer basket, and we probably drained about almost 1,000 gallons, and we're gonna have to do it for another 10 minutes to pump another 1,000 gallons. This is insane right here. And you can see right here, this is recirculate. This is if you put pool chemicals in the pool and you want, instead of going into the sand filter, it takes the water and it goes back into the pool instead of going through the sand filter, and it dilutes it. If you have it on filter, it recirculates it and spreads the water back and forth, but you only want this for a few minutes because the pool, if the water doesn't go through the filter, it could turn to algae. And this mode right here is like the drain. You don't ever touch it on this mode, especially when the filter's running, because this blocks the water from going in the filter. This is only for when you're putting it in winter mode. It blocks the water from freezing in there. It blocks the water. Okay, we're gonna switch it back to filter. This is 99% of the time you keep it on filter. Okay. And then you can come back over here and see the pressure is already at 10 psi. Usually it's about 10 to 14 psi if it's normal, but if there's the higher it is, the more you need a backwash. Okay, right now we have well water. We have a water softener right here. We're going to show you how it works right here. It leaves scales and white water buildup, crusty white residue, and can lead to brown rusty, like in the sinks and stuff, in the bathtubs. It can get all rusty from the hard water because of the scales and the minerals right here, the hard water we have. And it has dissolved rocks and minerals and metals, and the municipal water treatment plant, they're not required to take this out of our water. We have to do it ourselves. Okay, the water softener right here removes the rocks and minerals right here, the metals. And okay, you can see we're now backwashing the resin with the ion charge process with the resin bead, which gets softened and washed back into the house after being charged. The water after being charged at nighttime, usually at nighttime, because when there's the least amount of water in the house, it charges, and sometimes the salty water goes back into the sink. So that's why you usually do this at 2 o'clock in the morning. And after the ion charge has been occurred at nighttime, after it's been softened, the water comes into here, and then it goes into the water softener, and then after it's been charged, it goes back into the house after it's been softened. Okay, this is the short water tank. This is where the brine is, the salty water. It's like the ocean. It's a very saline and salty, and this is the brine tank. Okay, right here we have the dirty water. The water comes in from the house, the pipes right here. It goes into this water, and it collects beads, the minerals, and the hard water right there. And then as it gets bigger, as the cycle comes on, it takes the water right here, the salt right here, it fills up, and it charges the ions, and it sucks it into here and cleans it out and washes the resin beads. Here it releases the calcium, magnesium, which is hard water, and it gets dumped down the drain. The wasted water, or the brine water right here, gets dumped down the drain. There it's low on water, it's hitting the salt, so that means it's probably going to refill in a few seconds. After that's the rinse cycle, and then after that it regenerates and fills the water up in here for the next cycle, for the next charge, which usually occurs every other day. I see something happening. The water's moving around. I think it's filling up. It's getting ready for the next cycle. It should last about 2 weeks, possibly, about. It's still not rising up 5 minutes later. Maybe the tank doesn't fill up all the way. I thought it would go up to that water line. I thought it was going to go up all the way up to here.